Today we have a 2000 Ford Ranger, and we're going to replace the serpentine belt and the idler pulley. Now the idler pulley's been making a little bit of noise in the mornings, so we're going to replace that because we found out that our serpentine belt is starting to tear a little bit. We could probably still run it probably for another month or so, but why take a chance? We're going to go ahead and replace it right now, and we'll show you how that's done. Tools that you're going to need. I actually had bought this serpentine belt tool kit from Harbor Freight, and it comes with a couple of these attachments here. Comes with a couple of sockets, and it comes with a long pry bar, and it also comes with a short one. For this one, I'm going to use the long one so I can get inside there, and then I'm also going to use a 15 millimeter socket at the end of that. Now, if you don't have the serpentine belt kit, then you can actually utilize it with a couple of tools. You can get a 15 millimeter combination wrench, and then you just use a big wrench, what you're going to use to pry it and actually take the belt off. So we're going to show you both techniques real quick. Before you go and start taking anything off, so make sure that you guys know the routing of the belt. Sometimes it'll have it right up here. This one does have it right up here. It shows how it's routed around all these pumps and you know, your alternator and all that good stuff. So it tells you how it's routed. So that's really important, because when you put it back on, you need to know how to put it back on. And if you don't have this picture here in the front of your vehicle or on the hood, then you want to do is either make a diagram on a piece of paper or take some pictures with your phone. That way you have a reference, or take a video of it and talk about how it's routed around. That way you don't have a problem putting it back on. So for starters, I'm going to show you where the parts are, and then we'll go from there. So the tensioner is actually located right here. There's a 15 millimeter bolt that's on there, and what we want to do is we want to put our tools on that and then push down, and then it'll actually release the tension, and then we can kind of pull the belt off. And then further up here is our idler. I have my light right on it, shining right on there. This is the idler, and all you got to do is loosen that up and take it out. So I'm going to show you both ways to do it. First, we're gonna go with the tensioner, because I want to show you that you can actually use the tool, either one of these tools, to do it. So first, I'm going to show you the tool that you're supposed to use, which is the serpentine belt tool. So what you do is you just want to get it on there. It'll be a little tough trying to get it in there because the fan gets in the way. What you want to do is get it on there, and once you get it on there, I'm going to push down. Now you see it moving down there? So when I get down to there, it's already loose, so I can actually pull the belt off if I want right now. Okay? That's one way to do it. So now I'm going to show you if you didn't have the tool and you had to do it the old school way. And what you want to do is you want to get your wrench in there first, your 15 millimeter. Get it up as high as you can, but you're going to have to get leverage on this. The wrench is actually on there. Okay, and then it goes up a little bit, right about there. Okay. This is the top of the wrench right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our other tool and we're going to create leverage with it. We're going to get it on there. And we're going to do the same concept. We're just going to push down towards us. And you just got to be careful that the wrench doesn't come off the actual nut down there. So I don't know if you can see it on camera there. When you push down, it actually releases all the tension for you, okay? And then that way you're able to slip the belt off. So that's the one way to do it if you don't have a special tool for it. And then the same thing goes for the tensioner up here. Now this one you're going to release it going up. So this one here, we would just actually push this way, go up, and then it will loosen the bolt up. Now I'm not going to do that yet because I want to take the belt off first. Actually no, you know what, we're going to do this first. We're going to take this one off first, just so we can loosen it. Now that it's loose, you can see that it's moving. Right there, it taps out, so it doesn't go any further than that. So what you want to do is you want to grab your belt and just take it off one of the pulleys. So what you want to do is just want to take this belt off of there. I can release the tension off of here. Get this tool out of here. And you can take the belt completely off. And then now right here we got to get it around the fan, so we got to get it behind the fan to get it out. I like to do just kind of stick it in there and then just spin the fan around. And usually the belt comes right out. So idler off, and we'll just finish unscrewing that. And so basically this is what we got. There's a washer on the back, so you got to make sure to put that washer back on. So when we take this off, we're going to unscrew it and hold the washer in the back. And once we got that out, we'll make sure to grab our other one and then feed this through just like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So I want to make sure the idlers are similar. But what I mean by similar, we want to make sure that the thickness is the same. And these are. Thickness is the same. Now, the design might be a tad different, but if you see, they sit right around the same in depth. But the design is a little bit different. This is the original Ford one, which is a little bit concave. This one's a little bit more flat. And this is an aftermarket one. So as long as the diameters are the same, and the thicknesses are the same, and the holes are the same, you shouldn't have an issue at all. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and put that nut back on there. With the washer. So we got it on there. Now we're going to go ahead and put it right back on where we had it. We don't want to tighten this all the way up because we want to make sure it tightens up when it gets on there. So get that on there. Start it off with your hands. So I'm going to tighten that up as far as I can with my fingers. You can get it in there. Just tighten that down. Now if you can get a ratchet in there, you could probably use that. It's a little tight in here for that. So it's going to be a little hard for you to get a ratchet in there. So basically, okay, so now it's just about starting to tighten up on me. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it a nice tug down. Now remember, we took this off with the tensioner, and we also, or if you use your extra tool, probably down, you're going to do the same concept if you're going to tighten it down. So if I didn't have that special tool, I'd go on the opposite side. I go like this. Now I'm going to push down and tighten it. Nice and tight. Spin it, and we're good. Now a lot of times the old ones, they make noise. This one's not too bad, because like I said, it only makes noise when in the mornings when it's cold, the old one. But you know, we're already in here, so we're going to replace it. And the next step now is going to be to go ahead and put our belt back on. Our new belt back on. We have the correct belt, so we want to grab both belts and then just kind of stretch them out and make sure they semi are the same size, which these ones seem to be. Sometimes if they have a number on them and your old one still has a number on it, then you can check that way if you bought the same type of belt. So I'm going to go off the diagram here. And what you're going to want to do first, start off first, we're going to get the belt and we're going to feed it behind the fan. We have to get it behind the fan first. So I'm going to use the same concept. I'm just going to stick it behind the fan. Try to get it down all the way to the bottom. So once you get it underneath the fan, then you want to do is wrap it around that first bottom pulley. So we want to get to that bottom crank and wrap it around there. Okay, and then from there we're going to shoot it up here to the, I believe it's the power steering pump. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to feed it from there, wrap it around here. Now remember, you want to get that rib side on there. So that the rib side goes on the pulley, like so. And then from here this will wrap up, go like that. And we're going to stop right there because we need to get it to the other side and we need to get it around. Actually, we're just going to feed it through here. Let's get it underneath this. That idler pulley right there. So we've got it routed on the bottom, on the crankshaft pulley down there. Right down there, and then it's coming up here to the power steering and then on top of the smog pump, just like it's showing us here in this diagram here. So we've got it here, we've got it wrapped around here. I'm sorry, that's the air conditioning compressor. So it's going around the air conditioning compressor, and then we've got around here. We're going to wrap it around the alternator, and then we're going to come around here. So I'm going to take that. Now you just got to be careful here that when as you're putting it on these belts, that it's not coming off the other belts. That's the trick. And you know, it just takes a little bit of practice, that's all. So I kind of have most of the tension pulled towards me now. So you can see I have all the slack here. And now that slack has to come here, down around the water pump, which is right there. Wrap it around the water pump now. It's going to be a little hard, I can't get you in there, but... And then now all the slack is going to go where the tensioner is. Okay, now what I like to do it like this first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take it off of here. Okay, now that I have it wrapped around and I kind of know where everything's at, so I'm going to take it off these two pulleys right here, and I'm going to pull the rest of the tension out of there, so I can wrap it around the actual tensioner. So now I got it wrapped around the tensioner down here. Let me show you real quick. That tensioner right down there, right here. And so the slack's here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tool back on there, and as I push it down, then I'll be able to slide these back on there. So I'm going to use my tool to get down back in there. back on that bolt. Okay, and just make sure all the other routings of the belt are on there. On here and show you what I'm doing. So now I'm gonna get that tensioner, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing we were doing earlier. Get you in there. You can see. See the tensioner moving down there? Okay, so now all the tension's off the belt. The rest of the slack of these belts. We'll get them around our try to keep everything centered. This could be a little bit tricky first time you do it. So you want to get it back on that air conditioning one, and then as you're pushing down, you get it on that last, power steering pump. Now it looks like it's on there. I just want to make sure it's centered on that tensioner pulley. And then as you let up the tension, just check to make sure that it's on there. And if it's not, just push it back down and then just center everything back up as you go. So that pretty much does it. If it's not completely centered on that idler, on the tensioner, as you turn it on, it will actually center itself. So that's pretty much it. Just like I said, just make sure that the ribs are all on there and that you got all those on there nice and even. You don't want those misaligned because you can actually tear the belt. So those are all centered on there, and it looks like we're good to go there. So we're gonna go ahead and start it up real quick to make sure everything is like the way it's supposed to be. So if you look at, actually all the belts are running pretty good. No more noise from that tensioner. Should be good to go. Like I said, it's a little bit tricky getting that belt on there and actually push it down. If you have an extra person holding it down and then you're feeding it through, it'd be the easier way to do it. I've done these already before, so I'm just kind of trying to walk you through it. Try to use the right terminology. Anyways, if you have any questions, hit me up. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks for watching.